welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 9-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. Before we get into it, if you do enjoy the content at any point throughout this video, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, especially hit that subscribe button. It's going to help me out greatly. It takes 2 seconds, it's free, and we're on the road to 300. If we can get there today, that would be great, guys. Appreciate all the support I've gotten so far. It's been awesome, and I'm going to continue to be here all NBA season long, breaking down these slates to help you guys become better NBA DFS players. I have released an NBA DFS package linked below in the description where you get access to all of my projections, my rankings, my DK core plays, FanDuel core plays, FanDuel projections, DK projections, all that fun stuff. Go ahead and check that out if interested. Got a lot of good feedback on that, a lot of Patrons winning some money. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start breaking down this slate today. So, first game on the slate is Cleveland at Orlando at 7 o'clock, kicking it off here. 9,200 at the top, Andre Drummond. Currently, this game doesn't have an over-under, but the Orlando Magic are 5-point favorites. So we'll have to keep an eye on the over-under. I don't expect this game to be moving at a roaring pace. Probably one of the slower games that you'll see in the NBA. So, but we do have some injury news to keep an eye on. Darius Garland is questionable, and Evan Fournier is questionable. Garland's got a strained right shoulder, and then Evan Fournier missed last game, and he did miss Sunday's practice as well. So I tend to think he's going to be out, which is going to open up some more usage for a guy like a Michael Carter-Williams, like a Dwayne Bacon, and like a Terrence Ross, who has been absolutely hostile. Terrence Ross is the very first guy I want to talk about because based on his price tag and the game pace and all that stuff, he's going to be the first guy that I'm interested in. 5'2" last time out, he put up 40 DraftKings points. He did get a bump up to 5'9", so I do think that it's pretty important that Evan Fournier is out because DraftKings is starting to bump him up in price. However, if Evan Fournier is out, I'm still willing to pay this 5'9" price tag for him because he's just been absolutely killing it out there. They're putting him in off the bench, and he's getting a lot of points. And then once he gets rolling, towards the stretch, they'll keep him in to keep the offense up to par if they need to, and then they'll take him out for defense purposes if they need to. But point being, when they need points scored, even if they get behind in the game, Terrence Ross is the guy they're calling on, and I definitely do like him. But Evan Fournier needs to be out kind of because he did get a price tag increase. Kevin Love continues to be out, and as mentioned, Darius Garland is out. We were already seeing a bump in usage for a guy like a Dante Exum down here at 3.9. I think that his usage is just going to increase even more. He played 35 minutes last time out. He only got 14 DraftKings points, but at 3,900, a guy that's playing 35 minutes could definitely get you there. So he's a good value play if you need that value. As mentioned, if Darius Garland's out, they're just going to need him more. We'll have to keep an eye on Kevin Porter Jr. He seems like he's going to be out. And Isaac Okoro is the guy I really meant to keep an eye on because he's questionable. If he returns, expect him to get a ton of minutes. He played 34 and 42 the first 2 games. He would become an intriguing value play as well, especially if there's no Darius Garland. So some things up in the air, but those are the guys you'd be looking to for sure in this one. And then lastly, Markelle Fultz at 6'5" and Aaron Gordon. These guys are going to get a bump in usage as well with no Evan Fournier if Evan Fournier misses this one. Aaron Gordon finally got a little bit more minutes the last game out. He was only seeing around 20 minutes. He finally got 28. At 5'9", if he's going to get around 30 minutes, he can definitely blow that price tag out of the water. Aaron Gordon, a guy with a lot of upside. It was just a minutes cap. And then, of course, Vucevic and Drummond at the top. I didn't mean to skip over them. It's just they're priced up appropriately. These guys have a ton of upside. Andre Drummond last time out only seeing 20 minutes for some reason. I'm kind of skeptical on what's going on with him in Cleveland. He just didn't play a lot. I mean, he got a technical foul, and then Cleveland just decided to sit him. I don't really know what the reasoning was, or, if it was a disciplinary issue or what was going on there, but Cleveland decided to go ahead and sit him for a bunch, so something's going on with him. The last 2 games, he hasn't got a lot of minutes. Nikola Vucevic, on the other hand, 52 DraftKings points last time out. Could definitely look in there. It's just a matter of if there's cheaper options at the center position as we go along and lineup builds. But those 2 guys obviously make a lot of sense. Charlotte at Philly. Right now, Joel Embiid at the top at 9.9. This game comes with a 219.5 over under. 9.5 point favorites are the Philadelphia 76ers. So a game that could possibly turn into a blowout, but at 9.5. It's not the worst spread in the world. I'd say that this game stays close enough to where we could get some high upside out of a guy like Joel Embiid at the top at 9.9. Played 37 minutes last time out, 46 DraftKings points. Joel Embiid, always the guy that can get you there. A ton of upside. He can shoot it from behind the arc. He'll get you assists. Pretty good passer out of the post. He can post up. So he's the full package at 9.9. And the Charlotte matchup definitely doesn't scare me. Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris, obviously the next two guys in this offense. Ben Simmons at 9.1, I think continues to be a little bit overpriced. He put up 53 DraftKings points last time out, which would get you there, but he just can't really shoot the three ball. And on a site like DraftKings, where you get that 3-point bonus, he's going to need to get to there with a triple-double, which he did put up last time out. He's definitely capable of the triple-double and getting that bonus. So that would be the appeal there. But I have a feeling if you're playing either Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid, you're probably playing one or the other. Because I think the other one's going to limit the other one's upside. Tobias Harris at 7.6, a big discount down to him. He put up 57 DraftKings points last time out. He's been the guy that I've been talking about consistently, just saying target him because he's the third guy in this offense. He gets a bunch of usage as well. And if he's only 7.6 compared to those guys up in the 9K range, we could target him in a matchup in a spread such as this. But the game is expected to maybe get away. Tobias can still get you there at his discount price tag. Gordon Hayward at 7.3. He's been the lead guy in this Charlotte offense since coming over. 47 DraftKings points last time out in a game that stayed, relatively close. He'd be the first guy that I'm looking to on the Charlotte side. And then Terry Rozier and Devontae Graham, I'm a little bit concerned about LaMelo Ball digging into their minutes right now. I'm not really trying to go there. I don't know. It's a little scary. He put up 46 DraftKings points last time out at 7K, so you'd be real happy with that. And then Devontae Graham on the other side at 5.7 has been really struggling. So if I'm picking one guy, I'm probably going to Terry Rozier, except you could make the argument that Devontae Graham's so cheap now that maybe he makes a good play. But he's been really, really struggling. And I have a feeling, they're going to be more willing to play a guy like LaMelo Ball more minutes at 5.6. I think LaMelo makes for a little bit of a sneaky play. I don't know if people are starting to catch on now, but the last 3 times out, you definitely could have got him very low owned. And he's put up 44, 31, and 37 DraftKings points, which is very, very good for a 5.6 price tag. He's coming off the bench, so maybe he's a high upside play in disguise. So, he's definitely a guy that I'm looking to in this one. Sneaky play, that makes a lot of sense. Danny Green at 3.7 is a good cheap play. A guy that's seeing mid-20 minutes and can shoot it from behind the arc. He could definitely get you up there at his price tag. And that's my breakdown there. The last guy that I mentioned is Seth Curry at 5.6. Seth Curry, similar to LaMelo Ball, priced in the mid-5K range. A guy that's going to get minutes, a guy that can shoot behind the arc. He got 34 DraftKings points last time out. Seth Curry has been getting consistently in the 30s, and he's staying priced in the mid-5K range. So I definitely like Seth Curry. New York at Atlanta. Trey Young at the top comes in at 9.8. This game right now has a 223.5 over-under. 6.5 point favorites are the Atlanta Hawks. And yeah, not exactly going to be the best defensive game, but also not going to be the fastest paced game you'll see. 223.5 is a respectable total, but the guys that I'm looking to in this game are fairly obvious. Trey Young, Julius Randle are the top guys in both of their offenses. Trey Young comes in at a 9.8 price tag. Hasn't quite been able to get you there as of late, at his higher price tag. He's really just been putting up mid-30s to 40 DraftKings points. He needs to get you 50 plus. He put 53 DraftKings points last time against Brooklyn on the 30th. So Trey Young looking to get back on track on this one. I definitely think he could get there with this New York Knicks defense. Not very good defense. Julius Randle, on the other hand, I'm going to have a ton of interest in at 9K regardless. This guy's been very involved in his team's offense, getting you assists, getting you rebounds, getting you points. Julius Randle at 9K, definitely like him. RJ Barrett at 6.7, same role applies to him. He's very involved in the offense. Those are the two guys. He's getting a ton of minutes, 42 minutes last time out. At only 6.7, I think he could get you there for sure. 37 DraftKings points the time before, and I think we could see him push for like 45, 50 DraftKings points. At 6.7, that's a very respectable tag. And Clint Capella at only 6.1. This guy is going to be an absolute beast for this Hawks team. He's starting to see 30 minutes or so. Last time he put up 46 DraftKings points, and I think we're going to continue to see that out of him when he's getting 30 minutes. And I think he's finally, not limited after being out with that injury. I have a lot of interest in Clint Capella. Mitchell Robinson on the other side makes a lot of sense as well. 29 minutes last time, he put up 32 DraftKings points, priced in the mid-5K range. Mitchell Robinson, a guy that can definitely give you a ton of upside. Very good at blocking shots, can definitely make it some buckets around the hoop. Shooting 8 for 10 last time out, 2 blocks, 1 assist, 9 rebounds. He was 1 rebound off from the double-double If he can get you there, you'll be real happy with that. Alec Burks, if he's back at 5'4", will be an absolute smash play. This guy's been killing it all season long. At 5'4", he'll be way too cheap. As long as we hear that he's not limited, I'll definitely like him. And then we got to keep an eye on Kevin Huerter's status because he exited the game last time. If he is out, Danilo Gallinari is already out. That's going to give a bump to a guy like Bogdanovich, a bump to a guy like Cam Reddish, and then a bump to a guy like Rajon Rondo if Rajon Rondo's back. So we'll have to keep an eye on him at 3-1. Rajon Rondo could be a great play. He's listed as doubtful, though, so he's not expected to be back. So really the last guy that would give a bump to probably is Goodwin. I'd expect Brandon Goodwin to get some more minutes at only a $3K salary. He can make sense as a cheap salary relief punt as well. OKC at Miami, 8-5 at the top is Bam Adebayo. This game right now comes in with a 212 over-under, so a very slow game. 8-point favorites are the Miami Heat. And, yeah, 212 is just going to make me not really have much interest in this game at all. I think we can make this one fairly quickly. I don't really have any interest in this game. I mean, I'm looking down the list that all these guys are priced pretty appropriately. If I'm going anywhere, I'm probably going to the two guys that are going to get the most usage, and that's going to be, well, three. You could go to Bam Adebayo at the top at 8.5. I just don't think it really makes sense to pay at 8.5 for Bam Adebayo when you can just go up a little bit more to someone else in a game that's expected to be quicker and or closer. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jimmy Butler are the only ones I'm looking to play. These guys are the main guys in their offenses. 7-8 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He put up 35 DraftKings points last time. If you can somehow get you up in the 40-45 range, which I do think is possible, at 7-8 you'll be very happy with that. And the same rule applies to Jimmy Butler. 27 minutes last time out. I think we see him kick more up towards the mid-30s in minutes in this one. I had 7-4. He can definitely get you 50 DraftKings points, and you'll be happy with that. So those are two guys to be looking to in that one. Pretty quick breakdown, but that's just going to be a dreadful pace game. Boston at Toronto. Jason Tatum at the top at 8-6. This game right now doesn't have a total, but Boston comes in as 3-point underdogs. And this is definitely going to be a defensive battle, but a game that should be close. And both teams that are, very predictable as far as their rotations are concerned. They just need the game to stay close. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are the two guys I'm looking to on the Boston side. 37 to 40 minutes for both of these guys every time out. Jason Tatum put up 59 DraftKings points last time out. We saw Jaylen Brown get up there the last few times out. He put up 57 DraftKings points, 47 DraftKings points, and then 36 last time out. He's finally seeing a price increase, though, and Jason Tatum's finally seeing a price decrease. After starting the season out more towards the 9K range, he's down to 8.6, so I would tend to want to jump on the Tatum train finally. I've been promoting Jaylen Brown all season long because of the price tag difference, but now that it's more narrow, I actually do prefer Jason Tatum. So he'd be the first guy I'm looking to in this one. Pascal Siakam on the Toronto side is the top guy I'm looking to at 7.7. I think he's too underpriced. He had a disciplinary issue, in one of his previous games. He got sat. Last time out, he only played 25 minutes, so I don't know whether I don't think they're gonna continue to limit him. I think he's gonna be good to go in this one finally. So that's the only thing we have to keep an eye on. If he's going to be limited because of disciplinary issues, that could be an issue. And then I do think that there are some cheap center options in this game that are viable. Daniel Tice, Chris Boucher, Tristan Thompson, and Aaron Baines. Like all these guys, Aaron Baines, a little bit of a revenge narrative. Taking on his former team at 4K. If he gets some increase in minutes because he has to defend the big guys in the front court, you could definitely like him. And Tristan Thompson and Daniel Tice make a lot of sense because these guys have solidified roles. Upper 20s minutes for Tristan Thompson at only 4.4. He could definitely get you, around 35 DraftKings points. You'll be real happy with that. Same thing for Daniel Tice. He's 4.8, but Daniel Tice can shoot it from behind the arc. He can get you points. He can get you rebounds. He hasn't really had a big game, honestly, around 20 DraftKings points a game, so I'd probably lean Tristan Thompson with that discount, but it could be a Daniel Tice game, and that's where I'd be looking to go. And then, Marcus Smart at 6.6, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, 7.7 and 8K, they all make sense. Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry, I would say, are priced more appropriately, but they're going to see all the minutes they can handle. The Raptors rotation is just very good for minutes, around 40 minutes for Kyle Lowry, around 40 minutes for Fred VanVleet every time out. So these guys, their minute upside is just tremendous, and Fred VanVleet putting up 47 and 50 DraftKings points the last time out just shows, he's very involved in the offense. And Marcus Smart is 6'6", same thing for him. He's going to get a ton of minutes, mid-30s to upper 30s, 35 and 38 DraftKings points the last two times out. If he's going to get you 40 DraftKings points at 6'6", you'll be pretty happy with that. Dallas taking on Houston. We got two big injuries in this one because we got to keep an eye on James Harden and Luka Doncic. Both are questionable. So it's kind of really difficult to talk about this one right now, outside of the fact of talking about what could happen if they're in or out. If they're in, both of them are great plays. Expected to be an up-tempo game. Both defenses are pretty lackluster, so I like both of them. If they're out, they get a big bump up to their teammates. So Houston, it would be John Wall, Christian Wood. DeMarcus Cousins has only been playing around 10 minutes a game, so I guess we can't really play him until they're going to give him more minutes. But John Wall and Christian Woods become absolute smash plays if James Harden misses this one. As far as Luka missing, that would open up some more guard value, similar to last night, and a Trey Burke and a Jalen Brunson. So those would be the two guys you're looking to on the cheap end at 3-4 and 3-3. Jalen Brunson becomes an absolute lock. He had a huge game last night, and he would just be a free square for your DraftKings lineups. He put up 49 DraftKings points last time at only a 3-3 salary. That's ridiculous. Is he going to be popular? Yeah, but is he fadeable? Probably not, honestly. And then, of course, Tim Hardaway Jr. gets a bump. Dorian Finney-Smith, all these Dallas starters would get a bump up. Fairly self-explanatory. If these guys are in, they're great plays. If they're out, they give a big bump to their teammates. I really do like John Wall in this one at 7-6. Regardless, he's been putting up around 50 DraftKings points a game at 7-6. He's way underpriced, so I definitely like John Wall. And yeah, pretty quick breakdown of that one. Pretty straightforward. Pretty much know the guys that are getting minutes. Eric Gordon gets a bump as well if there's no James Harden at 5'7". He's a guy that can stroke it from behind the arc. He put 36 DraftKings points last time out. Could definitely do that again. So he becomes a great play as well. But yeah, I think we get the point. James Harden and Luka Doncic, their injuries are going to really impact who we are going to in this game. Moving further along to the next one. Detroit at Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo at the top at 10-8. This game comes with a 13.5 spread, so it's really just a matter of whether the game stays close. I would expect the Bucks to just run away with this one. We've seen blowouts all season long. Blake Griffin and Josh Jackson's statuses could change that. And he is questionable after that concussion. I'd expect him to play in this one. He already returned. He had limited minutes. I'd expect him to be good to go. Josh Jackson didn't get hurt last time out, so we're going to have to keep an eye on his status. He wouldn't return because of a right ankle injury. I have a feeling that he's not going to be in. When you pull a guy from the game and he doesn't come back, he's probably going to be out at least one game. Then you got Pat Connaughton from Milwaukee, who's also questionable. That could give a bump up. He's doubtful, actually, so that could give a bump up to a guy like a Bryn Forbes, to mostly Dante DiVincenzo, to be honest. Dante DiVincenzo at 5-1 is a guy I love to play in these high spread games with Milwaukee, because even if they start to blow it out, he's probably going to stay out there a little longer, and this guy can absolutely put up a lot of DraftKings points. Same rule applies to Bobby Portis. They're kind of my blowout gems on this Milwaukee team because they can put up DraftKings points real quick. Those would be the two guys I'm going to for sure. And then, Derrick Rose is the number one option on the Detroit side for sure at 5'8". He's going to get all the usage in the world. The only problem is he's only been seeing mid-20 minutes. If we can see him get up there more towards the 30 minutes, he's going to smash that 5'8" price tag, so I definitely like him. And then Chris Middleton, Jeremiah Grant. It's just a blowout. I would love Chris Middleton at 7-7. He can still get there, of course. Giannis can still get there, of course, but I'm a little more weary on those guys. I'd rather go down to a guy like Jrue Holiday. He'd be my favorite option at 6'8". Even if he gets limited minutes, I think at 6'8", he could put up 40 DraftKings points real quick for you, and you'd be real happy with that. So Jrue Holiday, my favorite option based on his price tag. Moving further along, Indiana taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Domantas Sabonis, this game expected to be a close one at 9-5. A 1.5 spread right now in favor of the New Orleans Pelicans. A 218 over/under. Not the greatest over/under. Similar to the Boston-Toronto game, though. This rotation is so predictable that we could definitely like some guys here. Domantas Sabonis, Brandon Ingram, Malcolm Brogdon. All these guys are expected to get around 40 minutes. Domantas Sabonis is more priced, appropriately as compared to his low 7K to low 8K range early in the season. DraftKings now has priced him up to a 9.5 price tag. Gonna have to keep an eye on how he's performing. But this is the game he could get there for sure, is the point being. Brandon Ingram at 8-4, I love him. Top guy in this offense. He's been putting up around 50 DraftKings points a game. He's going to need to get you there at 8-4, but he's definitely capable. You could always drop down to a Zion Williamson at 7-9. He's going to get a little bit of a price tag discount. Zion Williamson the last 2 times out has been pretty miserable as far as his DraftKings performance, but I don't expect that to keep up. I expect Zion to explode really soon, and in a close game, this could definitely be the one. Malcolm Brogdon, a guy that I played last time out, he played and he put up 54 DraftKings boards, absolutely stroked from behind the arc. He's definitely capable of doing so again. At 7.9, the only problem is you get a price tag increase. He's going to need to get you up there in the 40s, but definitely capable. I just expect to have a lot more interest in a guy like a Victor Oladipo at 7K because you get that $900 discount, and he's getting similar usage. So I'd rather just play Victor Oladipo at 7K, a guy that has the same type of upside. I definitely would be interested in him in this one. And then from there, my interest kind of fades, to be honest, in this game. I mean, there's some other guys you could look to. You could look to a cheap guy in JJ Redick. JJ Redick's been really struggling. He's all the way down to 3-3 now. I mean, this guy literally, I've just been waiting for the game he gets you there. At 3-3, he's not going to kill your lineup, and he could definitely get you there. So if you're trying to make a Stars and Scrubs lineup, JJ Redick makes a great sense as far as a filler. But, I mean, if Luka Doncic is out, JJ Redick's 3-3. You could just play Jalen Brunson or Trey Burke at the same price tag, guys that have solidified minutes and roles. They have solidified roles in their offense. So, yeah, those are the guys I'd be looking to. Last game, Sacramento at Golden State. Steph Curry putting up an absolutely huge game last night, putting up 75.75 DraftKings points. It's funny because I literally said on the show yesterday, I'm just waiting for this guy to explode and put up 65 DraftKings points. He went up there and topped me and put up 75 DraftKings points. So I think we were all waiting on that game. He was really struggling from behind the arc. He finally just went out there and put up a huge game. 8 for 16 from behind the arc, 75 DraftKings points, 62 points on the day. Steph Curry just went off, and he's only 9-3 still, so you could definitely continue to have some interest in him. A 232.5 over-under, and 2-point underdogs are the Golden State Warriors. So this game is expected to stay close. Steph Curry, ton of interest. Again, De'Aaron Fox, ton of interest at 8-2. He's a guy that's going to see up more towards 40 minutes, the most solidified role on this Sacramento Kings team. Buddy Hield at 6'8". Same thing applies, and you get a discount on him. He's seeing around 40 minutes a game. We're just waiting on him to put up a huge game. He hasn't really put up much more than 34, 35 DraftKings points. This guy's getting 40 minutes. The way he can shoot it from behind the arc, you could be looking at a 50 spot real quick. So I definitely have interest in Buddy Hield. This Golden State team has been just dreadful defensively. I'm not too worried about the Sacramento side either. So, those guys I'm definitely having a ton of interest in. And then Rashawn Holmes at 5'6", Harrison Barnes at 5'6". Both guys that are getting around mid-30s minutes, if not up to 40. And both guys that are definitely good fantasy point producers. So on the Sacramento side, they'd be the guys I'm looking to. On the Golden State side, now that Draymond Green's back, honestly, I'm not really trying to play any of these guys outside of Steph Curry. I think they're just going to all cut into each other's usage. You could play Andrew Wiggins at 6'6". He definitely has 50-point upside. He'd be my top option outside of Steph Curry. But Kelly Oubre and Draymond Green, I'm not really looking to play. I think they're going to dig into each other's usage. And, while you are seeing a price tag decrease in Kelly Oubre, you could jump on that. So DraftKings making it difficult on us because if Kelly Oubre was still up 6K, I'd say definitely no. But now he's down to 5.5 or so. You could definitely be playing him. And that is my overall breakdown for this 9-game NBA DFS slate. Before I let you guys go, though, of course, I do have to give you my lock of the day. Let's get into it. And my lock of the day today is going to be Mr. John Wall. As mentioned earlier in the video, this guy continues to be underpriced, whether James Harden's back, whether James Harden's out. I don't really care due to the price tag. At only 7.6, we've seen this guy put up 45 and 50 DraftKings points his first 2 times out with this Houston Rockets team, playing 37 minutes each time out, bordering about 30 minutes. I absolutely love John Wall. He shot 2 for 8 from 3 the last 2 games. If he can get some of those threes to fall, he has even more upside. 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 28 points the last time out, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 22 points the time before. This guy is literally triple-double upside. He can get there without the triple-double at the 7.6 price tag. He's just way underpriced. If Luka Doncic is out, I'm not worried about the defense of Jalen Brunson. I'm not worried about the defense of Trey Burke. Both not the best defenders. Both can't really hang with John Wall. If Luka Doncic is in, I'm still not worried about it. I don't think Luka can guard John Wall. So I absolutely love him at this 7-6 price tag on DraftKings tonight, and he is no doubt my lock of the night. So that is all from me as far as this 9-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. If you enjoyed the content, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated, guys. On the road to 300, next up 400. Appreciate all the support that I've gotten from you guys. I appreciate all of my loyal viewers that tune in every single time that I post a video. And lastly, the last thing that I'd ask for you guys is, I've started this lock of the night segment. Go ahead and post your lock of the night down below. If you agree with me, great. If you have another lock of the night, let's hear it. And that is all from me. Wish you guys all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.